In the previous chapter, Minor Canon Chris Sparkle hosted a dinner to help reconcile Edwin Drood and Neville Landless after their earlier argument, leading to a handshake between the two young men, though underlying tensions remained. This sets the stage for Edwin to confront his own feelings about his future and his engagement. Chapter 3: A Picture and a Ring. Behind John Jasper's door, the picture of Rosa Budd hangs on the wall. It's the same sketch that Edwin Drood made, showing her with a playful, unhappy look on her face. Jasper often stares at it when he's alone. Far away in London, in a dull office building called Staple Inn, there's a man named Hiram Grewgious. He's a lawyer, known as an angular man because everything about him is sharp and straight-edged. His face, his clothes, even his way of speaking. The building is old and quiet, with trees in the courtyard that whisper in the wind. Grewgious lives and works there, handling other people's money and affairs without much excitement in his own life. His clerk, Mr. Bazzard, is a gloomy young man who dreams of writing plays but hasn't had any success yet. Bazzard sits in the outer office, looking serious, while Grewgious works inside. One day, Grewgious calls Bazzard in and asks him to fetch something from a safe. Bazzard brings back a small case, and Grewgious opens it to reveal a beautiful ring made of gold, with diamonds and rubies sparkling on it. Grewgious looks at the ring for a long time, lost in thought. He remembers Rosa's mother, who was once engaged to him. She was kind and gentle, but their engagement ended sadly. Now, the ring belongs to Edwin Drood as part of his mother's wishes. Grewgious mutters to himself about love and loss, then puts the ring away and tells Bazzard to expect a visitor soon. That visitor is Edwin Drood himself. He arrives from Cloisterham, looking cheerful and young. Grewgious greets him awkwardly but kindly, offering him a seat by the fire. The room is plain, with heavy furniture and a few bottles of wine on a shelf. Grewgious isn't used to guests, but he tries to make Edwin comfortable. He pours some old wine and they sit together. Grewgious explains why he asked Edwin to come. He talks about Edwin's parents, who are both dead. Edwin's father and Rosa's father were old friends and business partners. Before they died, they arranged for Edwin and Rosa to marry when they grew up. It was like a promise between the families. Grewgious is Rosa's guardian, and he's also handling Edwin's affairs until Edwin turns 21. Edwin listens, a bit surprised. He knew about the engagement, but he didn't know all the details. Grewgious says that Edwin's father left money and instructions in his will. If Edwin marries Rosa, everything will go smoothly. But if they don't marry, there might be some changes to the inheritance. Grewgious isn't worried about the money. He says Edwin will still be well off either way. The important thing is that Edwin and Rosa should only marry if they truly love each other, not just because of the old arrangement. Then Grewgious brings out the ring. He tells Edwin that it belonged to Edwin's mother. She wore it until she died, and her last wish was that Edwin's bride should have it, but only if Edwin was sure about the marriage. If Edwin doesn't marry, or if he marries someone else, the ring must go back to Grewgious. It's not part of the will. It's a personal promise Grewgious made to Edwin's mother. Edwin takes the ring and looks at it. It's a fine piece with the gems shining brightly. He puts it in his pocket, promising to follow the instructions. He thanks Grewgious for his honesty and care. They talk a little more about Rosa. Grewgious asks if Edwin is fond of her. Edwin says yes, in a way, like a brother and sister who grew up together. But he admits that sometimes they argue, and he's not sure if it's real love or just habit. Grewgious nods, understanding. He warns Edwin not to take the decision lightly. Marriage is serious, and Rosa is young and innocent. If Edwin isn't certain, he should let her go free to find her own happiness. Edwin agrees, saying he wants what's best for both of them. Grewgious seems relieved, as if a weight is off his mind. He shakes Edwin's hand firmly, wishing him well. Before Edwin leaves, Grewgious offers some advice. He says life can be full of surprises, and people should always be prepared. He mentions that he's glad Edwin came alone, without telling anyone else about the visit. Edwin promises to think carefully about everything. Edwin steps out into the foggy London streets, feeling thoughtful. The ring feels heavy in his pocket. He walks around, thinking about Rosa and their future. He remembers their recent talks, how they decided they weren't in love and shouldn't marry just because others expected it. but he hasn't told anyone yet. Not even his uncle Jasper. Edwin decides he should break the news soon, starting with Jasper. Back in Cloisterham that evening, Edwin goes to Jasper's home in the gatehouse. Jasper is surprised to see him, but welcomes him warmly. The room is cozy, with a fire burning and music books scattered around. The picture of Rosa is still on the wall, but Edwin doesn't notice how Jasper glances at it. They sit down, and Edwin gets straight to the point. He tells Jasper that he and Rosa have agreed to end their engagement. They're better as friends than as husband and wife. It was a mutual decision, with no hard feelings. Jasper's face changes dramatically. He turns pale, his eyes widen, and he grips the arms of his chair. He looks like he's been struck by a terrible shock. His breathing becomes heavy, and he stares at Edwin as if he can't believe what he's hearing. Edwin is alarmed and asks if Jasper is ill. Jasper struggles to control himself. He stands up, walks to the window, then back again. His hands tremble. He mutters something about it being a blow, but he tries to compose himself. Finally, he sits down and asks Edwin to repeat the news. Edwin does, explaining that they realized they didn't love each other in the right way for marriage. It was all arranged when they were children, and now they're grown up and see things differently. Jasper listens, his dark eyes fixed on Edwin. Slowly, color returns to his face, but he still looks shaken. He says he had no idea things were like that between them. He thought they were happy and in love. Edwin admits they put on a good show for others, but privately, they knew it wasn't working. Jasper asks if anyone else knows. Edwin says no, not yet. He plans to tell Grewgious soon, and Rosa will tell Miss Twinkleton at the school. Jasper nods, saying it's wise to handle it quietly. But inside, Jasper's mind is racing. He feels a strange mix of relief and anger. He had hated the idea of Edwin marrying Rosa, but now that it's off, he wonders what it means for his own secret feelings. They talk a bit more. Jasper warns Edwin that people in Cloisterham might gossip or be disappointed. The dean, the verger, and others all expected the wedding. Edwin shrugs it off, saying he'll deal with it. Jasper offers to help break the news if needed, but Edwin says he'll manage. As Edwin leaves, Jasper stands at the door, watching him go. Once alone, Jasper's face twists with emotion. He goes back inside, looks at Rosa's picture, and whispers to it. His love for her is deeper and darker than anyone knows. The broken engagement changes everything, but it doesn't ease the storm inside him. Meanwhile, Edwin walks home through the quiet streets, feeling lighter. He touches the ring in his pocket, wondering what to do with it now. Since the marriage is off, he knows he should return it to Grewgious. But for tonight, he's glad the secret is partly out. In London, Grewgious sits alone in his office, staring into the fire. He thinks about Rosa and hopes she's safe and happy. He doesn't know yet about the broken engagement, but he senses change is coming. The night grows colder in Cloisterham. The cathedral bells ring out, marking the hours. Secrets linger in the shadows, and the story moves forward with unspoken tensions. And that wraps up this chapter. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where John Jasper joins the stonemason Durdles for a mysterious midnight walk through the cathedral grounds.